Hello and welcome to volume 22 of the ChapterSkip podcast. I'm Mark.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Sean. Welcome along and thanks for joining us once again for the podcast. No Chud this week. Unfortunately, he had to do some work, so he couldn't be with us. But he did leave me a little message when I saw him on Saturday because his homework last week was to watch the Raid 2 and he tells me he thoroughly enjoyed it. And he thought it was better than the first one, which he loved anyway. Yeah, awesome. So, and he even went as far to say it's one of his favourite sort of martial arts kick-ass movies. So,
excellent. Awesome.
Yeah, glowing review from Chud on the Raid 2. Now, just remind me, guys, because I've been in a bit of a chasm this last week. I've been away from civilization, and I don't know what's gone on in the world. I can't remember what happened last week. Just a quick reminder, Mark, your homework was to...
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes. Joe?
Mine, I Saw the Devil. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I Saw the Devil. And what was my homework?
Jack Brooks' Monster Slayer.
And as you can tell by me not knowing the title of it, I haven't got around to watching it. Like I said, I've been in a bit of a chasm this past week. Had a week off work, and you know what happens when you kind of get out of sync with, you know, Monday to Friday kind of happenings, 8 till 5:30 or whatever. I've just been like lost and didn't know what day was what, and I sort of had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the Monday off, so my week is sort of like ahead of myself. I'm kind of like, is it Monday today? I don't know what day it is.
I had Tuesday to Sunday off, and I managed to watch 9 films last week, so you've got no excuse, Sean.
Well,
no pity from me.
But where were you? You were just lounging at home?
I went out and about and done a few bits and pieces. I wasn't just at home, but I was in the area.
Yeah, well, I was going to say was forced to take a trip to Birmingham, but I wasn't really forced because I thought it might be nice. Me and my girlfriend, we went away, it was her birthday, so we went to a place called the Belfry in Birmingham, Sutton Coldfield.
The only place I've ever been in Birmingham was the NEC.
Yeah, same.
Faith No More, I think it was.
Alright, this is, I think it's above Birmingham or North Birmingham, I can't quite remember, and basically it's sort of a spa hotel with a PGA Tour golf course attached to it.
Nice.
So it was really, really posh and a bit snooty, and I just didn't really feel like I belonged there. But I paid my money, and I was going to get my worth, you know, even if I did have to sit in the jacuzzi next to businessmen talking about their 30 grand kitchens. And I'm just sitting there going, yeah, I might buy dinner later and buy a £5 dessert. What up? So yeah, that was my week away.
Did you cause mayhem on the golf course? You know, riding around in a little car, explosions.
Now that's the thing, because it's a PGA Tour golf course. They're very, very strict on who can go on there.
Oh, right.
You have to have like a polo shirt, has to have a collar on it.
Really?
Has to be tucked into like properly, you know, tailored trousers. You have to have the right socks and the right shoes with the soft spikes on them. You know, I couldn't just rock up there with my Los Payos Hermanos t-shirt and my skinny jeans, you know, my Converse on. They would have gone, get the bloody out of here.
But then if you're on the course and then you untuck your shirt, will someone then come after you and try and chase you down? Would it be a golf cart chase across the thing?
I don't know.
Damn your rules!
We did see a lot of golf carts just sort of flying around, but I don't know whether that was, you know, the people doing it. But I guess people that play golf aren't really into the whole like anarchistic kind of lifestyle. They're like
golf.
Yeah, but you're not like, I wouldn't say you're a golf enthusiast, do you?
No, I've knocked some balls around.
Hang on, we don't talk about balls until later on in the podcast. So, yeah, I mean, we did get a TV, so I did manage to watch a couple of movies whilst we were away, but we didn't have the internet, so we couldn't go on Netflix or anything like that, so we had to be at the mercy of ITV2. But the first night they did actually give us a little treat, Hot Fuzz. So I got to rewatch Hot Fuzz, and I've got some Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and Edgar Wright news, so that will tie into that nicely. But then the second night, you know, you have to succumb to the charm of your lady and whatever's on TV. So the second night, I couldn't convince Dee to watch Once Upon a Time in Mexico. We had to watch Bridget Jones' Diary.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
But it's one of those films where, you know, you get to see Colin Firth looking really awkward, and Bridget Jones has got a nice rack on her.
and big pants.
Big pants, you know.
Does he get knocked through a window or something?
Yeah, him and Hugh Grant.
I really don't like Hugh Grant.
like
I don't know. It was alright in this. He's like
a bumbling
he's a
idiot.
He's a smarmy
He's
twat.
also a smug twat.
But he was playing a smug twat, so.
But I think he is anyway, isn't he?
Probably.
I've not seen him play anything other than a smug twat.
Mate, he's typecast probably. So yeah, that's my movie viewing, and I did take a trip to the cinema, but we can talk about that a little later on. We've kind of digressed. So with regards to homework, should we have a little chat about Guardians of the Galaxy? As we've all seen it now. Chud, if he was here, he would have his input, but I'm pretty sure he's just going to echo what we're going to say.
I might have hated it, you don't know that.
Nah, you wouldn't have hated it.
That was awesome. If I'm going to nitpick, I would have two faults, and that would be when he has his new tape at the end. Sorry, spoilers. You should know by now we do spoilers.
Okay, right. We'll just put it out there right now. We did the non-spoiler talk about Guardians last week. This week, from now on, probably up until the next 10-15 minutes, spoiler-ish to spoiler cast-ish. So just be warned, if you haven't seen it, why the fuck not? And number two, just listen out for that.
Anywho, when he has his tape at the end, because of the whole thing where they mentioned Kevin Bacon and that earlier, should have played Footloose. That should have been what it played.
Yeah.
And my other nitpick, bad guy, not enough of a bad guy. When he got the Infinity Stone in his hammer, I think he needed to have got, because it was on about it would destroy all organic life on the planet.
Yeah.
I needed to see him do that somewhere to fully, don't just tell me, oh, it does this.
Yeah.
I want to see it happen, because then when it eventually gets to the whole Thanos thing, you're going to be like, oh fuck, he's got 5 of these fucking things? Wow.
Yeah.
I needed to see it being used.
That's a good point, actually. But I think the movie did well in sort of focusing on 5 or 6, maybe even 7 different characters and distributing.
Yeah, it was bringing them together, wasn't it? It was putting their backstories together and showing them as a team.
And it was
that's right.
It was funny without being overly jokey.
I thought it was hilarious, but it was like. It knew it was funny, but it weren't like, "Hey, look at us, we're funny." It's sort of deadpan humour where
it was fun to watch, funny rather than hey, let's sling loads of jokes in. Funny.
It let you make your own mind up what's funny in that as well. That's what it didn't push it on you. This is the funny bit.
There was no here's an obvious joke when you build it. It just went bang here. Here's a funny moment, and you just carry on with the film, and I loved it.
Well, speaking of funny moments, I went back and watched it a second time in the cinema because I loved it that much. And there was a couple of things that I did notice, or I missed from the first viewing. And one of those, there's a part, sort of probably in the end third, where they're on the spaceship on Korath? Ronan's spaceship, and they're sort of going to go and see if they can fight him. And then a load of I guess they're like the equivalent of stormtroopers, they're the fodder.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, what are we going to do? And then Groot just mashes them the fuck up.
Oh, is that when he's got the branch through them and smashed it? Yeah, I love that.
It was almost akin to the Avengers when Hulk grabs Loki and smash him about. Yeah. And then he does this turn towards the camera, which was just for me, it was perfect. It was kind of cheesy, but not too cheesy. And I think he turned around to the camera, and everyone in the cinema was thinking he's going to go, "I am Groot," and he just has this massive cheesy grin on his face, and that just killed. The second time, it killed me more than the first time. And I was just that is possibly my favourite bit of the movie, just because.
And for a character who only says 3 words, there was that different. It was fucking hell, Vin Diesel, best role you've done, mate.
I know, right?
There was different inflections on how he said it, depending on the situation, and it works.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I was impressed with. He was a big guy.
Drax.
I meant the actor.
Batista, Dave Batista.
How good an actor he was. He's like, oh, you're quite loquacious for a bit of a wrestling meathead.
Yeah.
You got that look.
I've got muscles.
Yeah. And it's you sound quite intelligent.
See, the first time round, I didn't really like his character. I thought it kind of borderlined too much like the Thor-esque thing. It was Thor, he comes down to Earth and he's a bit what is this? Give me your horse. Give me, he's too literal. Whereas
that thing goes over my head. My reflexes are too fast.
Yeah, which was on the second time, I knew what his character was about, and I enjoyed it a lot more. Whereas the first time I was a bit I don't really get where you're coming from, And then the second time round, it was even funnier for me,
Going back about saying about where it didn't push the laughter onto you. I mean, a bit what made me and my friend piss ourselves in there, and no one else really was laughing, was when they finally get the clothes back after they're in the prison, and he goes, mine's all scrunched up. Well, certainly they folded yours.
Yeah.
And I just pissed myself at that. I just could not stop laughing. Just from that, I thought that was brilliant.
Just
It's like they folded all yours up.
Yeah, odd little moments like that are funny just because of that character. But I'm impressed with how far James Gunn, who directed the film, has come. Because he used to work at Troma. You're probably going to mention, which I'll get to in a second. You alluded to it.
What I said last week.
Yeah, you said there'd be something I liked, which I'm going to get to because I actually tweeted them both because I thought it was a better cameo than Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Was when I spotted Troma head honcho Lloyd Kaufman in the prison. I'm like,
that's what
it's Lloyd.
That's what I
didn't even spot him.
Yeah, he was at the prison.
Because you said that was Nathan Fillion who got the plants up his nose.
Yeah, the massive blue guy. Yeah.
Wouldn't have known. But I'm guessing James Gunn likes to work with the same people because Nathan Fillion, Michael Rooker, and the guy who was Peter Quill's granddad were all in Slither.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's obviously, and then he's got Lloyd Kaufman in there from his Troma days. So I don't know if it was anyone. Did he do Super as well? Didn't he?
He did Super, yeah.
So I don't know if it was anyone out of that who might
Kevin Bacon reference. Maybe. That's kind of very loose there, isn't it?
So,
but yeah, Stanley, I didn't really like his appearance. It's really quick, wasn't it, as well?
I just like the way he was like a pervy old man.
But straight away, I was like, I thought he'd be in the
a lot
middle
of people were saying, you know, kind of Stanley probably turned up and they're like, you've got to stand next to this lovely red lady and, you know, pretend you're in love or whatever. He's like, all right, yeah, I can do that. And then they're like, what we're actually going to do is, you know, take the mick out of you for being...
And then Lloyd was in the prison scene, I think.
He's standing up on the balcony. When they say, I'm going to get you and all that, and we're going to beat you up.
I was like, fucking hell, it's Lloyd. And I got more excited about that than Stan Lee's one, because you kind of expect Stan Lee. And I was just like, yay!
What did you think of a little group?
Little group. Should we get to the after credit thing? Because you guys had mentioned that last...
We did, yeah. The whole like dancing, the whole dancing group thing was almost like... It was meant to be the mid-credit sequence, I think, wasn't it? But it kind of wasn't. It was sort of like on the end of the movie.
Almost, yeah. It was very...
Yeah, but the end credit sequence was a bit of a throwaway.
To me, it was kind of just to let you know the collector is still alive. Yeah. And then I'm going to have this stupid moment that you may or may not get.
Yeah. And do you know who voiced Howard the Duck?
No, I don't.
Oh, I think I do. Yeah, Seth Green. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I read that.
Have you guys seen Howard the Duck then, the film?
I haven't. I didn't really like it. I mean, I liked it when I was a kid, obviously, but I don't think I'd like it now.
It's got really slated. I actually quite like the film. I don't think it got slated more by fans. I just like it as a dumb 80s film.
I heard it was really bizarre.
Because he goes into the future, doesn't he?
No, he comes to Earth. He gets zapped from his planet. There's a scientist on Earth doing an experiment, and he gets zapped through.
And he meets a girl, don't he?
Yeah, he meets a girl. He's in a band.
Does his hair go up and all that and stuff when he gets excited? Or his his hair feathers and all that. I can remember when I was little.
At the start, you will see some duck lady boobs.
Oh yeah,
that's an incentive. I kind of like it for being a dumb 80s film, even though it is universally.
It put me off, but I thought it's all right. We'll give you Rocket Raccoon. So we're going to throw this other animal at you to make it safe. I think that's how they looked at it.
I don't know. I think it was just a throwaway. I think it's just.
We're all like Rocket Raccoon, and I was just a bit like, oh god.
I think it's just James Gunn having a laugh, going, oh fuck it, because I think apparently he was in the earlier scene. You just see briefly.
That's what I was going to say. Did you spot him
I did,
when it first reveals the collector? He turns around and he's out of focus. You see on the top right, you actually see how the duck in the cage.
I'd heard that, but I didn't know.
I didn't spot it the first time, and then I listened to a podcast where they mentioned all the Easter eggs, and then I looked out for it a second time and spotted him.
Because I read somewhere the dog actually joins the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I think Cosmo is a talking Russian dog in the comics, and I think he is part of the Guardians.
Is the one that the Russians sent into space and he's ended up?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people were expecting him to talk at the end, you know, when he came in and licked the collector's face, but I think when you've got too many talking animals, it's a bit like
overkill.
You got to have Rocket, you know. I know Groot's kind of like that sort of. He's a specimen, isn't he? He's not a human character, although I guess the only human character is Peter Quill. But you can't kind of take the focus away from Rocket because he was such a strong character. Yeah. If you start introducing, you know, ducks and dogs that all talk, and kind of takes away from the uniqueness. I thought
Karen Gillan, who played, was it Nova?
Nebula,
sorry, completely unrecognisable. If it wasn't one of those I'd known who was playing her beforehand, wouldn't have had a clue.
Yeah, and she shaved her head for the role, didn't she? Yeah, she wanted to get right into
badass as well.
Yeah, whereas she probably could have just worn a bald cap, you know, but get it all off. Why not?
What was you going to say before we said about spoilers about the tape at the end or something?
I've said that.
He just said about it should have played Footloose.
Because they'd mentioned all the
Kevin Bacon
stuff.
You did. You're sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Come on, Joe.
Yeah, I know.
Keep up, boy. Get that tea down.
Get that tea down.
Yeah.
And they've already said, I think, for the next film they are going to say who Peter Quill's father is.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting because I don't know anything from the comics.
No, I think from what I've heard, like
it's going to be different to the comics. I think.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Like in the comics, apparently Peter Quill's dad is like a rich dude or something. But I think they're going to change it so he's actually like a decent character rather than somebody not really that interesting. And they did allude to something at the end because spoilers again when he grabs the gem.
He's got some kind of
he didn't like explode straight away like that girl did when she grabbed it in the collector's place. Obviously he did have the shared power because they all sort of held hands in a really kind of cheesy and dumb kind of way. But I was like, but it yes, awesome. I think they alluded to that. He was like half Terran or something or other. I didn't quite get that.
Only half Earth.
Yeah.
I enjoyed. I don't know his name. The guy who's like, because he's He's again. I've seen it a little while ago. But I've been asleep since then. The guy who he says at the end, you give me the thing, the thief guy, the one who blows his whistle, and he has the thing. I love that when he kills them all.
The arrow.
Yeah, the arrow. I thought that was so cool.
In the comics, Hondu was actually a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy, so I think they had to kind of put him in there as a nod, and I think they wanted him not as necessarily a bad guy, but not really kind of a good guy.
Just a bit
of a sort of a tweener, isn't it?
Because at the end he sort of laughed, didn't he, when he had the fake...
he had the little troll.
That's it.
Proper 80s little troll.
He kind of suspected when it was like, I think he's fucked me over. Like, he has, but
Because he looked at him as a father anyway, don't he? So,
Oh, another really funny moment. I don't know if you guys picked up on it. It's when the Guardians first go on Peter Quill's ship, and what's her name? Zoe Saldana's character, Gamora.
Yeah.
She starts going, this place is filthy, and he goes,
the black light.
You should look look at this under a black light. It's like a Jackson Pollock painting.
Yeah, I thought that was brilliant. The kids are there just don't.
They're like, I don't get it, and I'm like, come everywhere.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Everything that was meant to be funny was, I even like Rocket Raccoon, but the whole thing about, I need that guy's false leg.
That was brilliant.
It was like, I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, that was really funny.
And then it copies out at the end going, right, I need that guy's eye. No, you don't.
Come on, it'd be really funny.
Because I'm not really up to date on the comics, but does he have like a laser eye or something in the comic?
I've not read
like a thing,
any of them.
Like a thing over one eye. Because I thought I didn't know if that was like a little hint to that.
You thinking of Star Fox?
No, I just thought you may have something like that.
I honestly don't know.
I may be wrong, maybe completely wrong.
Never read them.
I don't know.
Yeah, another really great bit.
So there's a spider hanging off the...
okay.
He might talking at the microphone.
He was probably talking over it. You just
whispering little spidery secrets.
Talk about spider movies. When was the last time you watched Arachnophobia?
So, 8-legged freaks. What did you think of that, guys?
You can't hear us in the background.
What I was going to say is the bit where they kind of do the cheesy things. Like there was a bit where it's like, come on, I need you two guys to come together. We need to get the gem. We need to lock it away. One person stands up, and the next one like, yeah, you're my friend. The next one, and then Rocket's just like, oh, for God's sake, I better stand up. Now we're all standing up. We all look like jackasses. Brilliant. It's kind of like they're playing fun with it, having fun with it, and just playing on that. I think that's what James
Gunn's done with everything he's done, though. There's always that fun element in what he's doing, and it works really well.
Now, here's something that I was really interested in, and potentially could be amazing. Guardians and Avengers possible team-up crossover movie.
I think eventually for Avengers 3.
Yeah.
It's all going to...
I think it's going to happen.
Thanos as well. Actually, like with Avengers, when the Hulk actually looked like Mark Ruffalo, Thanos, I could see Josh Brolin's face in there.
Yeah, well, Josh Brolin was the only person that did mocap in the movie. All the ping pong balls and the whatnot. Everyone else was like a CGI character. James Gunn's brother, who played Hondo's like right-hand man, he had kind of the weird teeth and the sort of spiky hair. He did the sort of the stand-in for Groot and Rocket. So a lot of like Rocket's lines that were ad-libbed were actually the fault of James Gunn's brother, because of James Gunn's brother. So I thought that was quite cool, and he's featuring his brother, and he seemed really cool.
That's pretty good.
And Guardians 2's coming out, so I'm guessing maybe Guardians 2 they might come to Earth or something like that, and then maybe build towards Avengers.
I think it's all going to come ahead with Avengers 3 with the whole Thanos Infinity Stones thing. And
I was just imagining, like maybe a battle between Iron Man and Star-Lord, both sort of flying around, got their kind of rocket boosters and whatnot, and maybe like Gamora versus Black Widow, that'd be a really cool battle.
Will we see more Howard the Duck though?
I don't know. But then imagine like Groot versus the Hulk, the Hulk could like smash him up, then Groot just grows back and makes little sort of twinkly things.
No, it was an awesome film. Loved it.
Yeah, excellent.
Awesome, really, really good.
So, Joe, your homework was to watch I Saw the Devil. Now, how did we come about this? You were mentioning movies made by...
The guy, who was it Kim Ji-woon who did Last Stand, Good, the Bad and the Weird, and various other... Because we obviously reviewed Last Stand way back when.
Yeah.
I can't remember what...
I think
it's just one that I'd watched in the previous week. That's what it was.
That's right. It's about Quentin Tarantino's. I think he's influenced by him because Quentin likes to do different styles of filming. And I think I might be wrong. Did you say he was in one of his films, Quentin Tarantino?
No.
I thought you did say he was in one or something. No. Did you say he was in?
Stop putting all these things on me. That
did you say though he was in Hostel or something?
No, that's Takeshi Miike.
I'm getting it wrong then. So.
Yeah. No, you're thinking Takeshi Miike. That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay. But
Kim Ji-woon is Korean.
Okay.
So I've not actually seen or heard of, other than what you've mentioned, Mark, about I Saw the Devil.
It's the chap out of Old Boy. He was the murderer in it.
Okay.
The one Choi Man-sik, the O'Daisy in Old Boy.
The main guy, yeah. So any thoughts, Joe?
Yeah,
or
no,
just
brilliant. Really, really, really good. Really enjoyed it. I did send Mark a message and just said just one word, wow.
Yeah,
it was just really good.
Like, wow. Yeah, Joe liked it.
I just thought this is so good. Yeah, no, it's
the complete opposite of Guardians.
Yeah. No, it's similar to that. That's all. It's quite bleak. It's really good. I liked it. I thought it was quite an original idea, like what you said about.
Yeah, for those that don't know, just a quick recap. It's a detective. Did he have a family member got killed?
It was his wife, pregnant wife.
Oh, that's right. His pregnant wife had been killed by this serial killer, and he sort of is like the typical thing when the cops taken off the case, but he tracks it down, manages to find the guy, beat him to within an inch of his life, and then shoves a tracking device down his throat so he can basically let this guy go, and then decide, right, fuck it, he's got an hour's head start, I'm going to go and get him. I'm going to randomly turn up in this guy's life and keep beating the shit out of him.
First time he puts his arm on a rock, snaps his arm, he wakes up in a car or something, and in an abandoned car, and he's got his arm all in a sling. Second time, he goes in his Achilles heel, in his
cuts the Achilles tendon.
Yeah, and he goes, and you see it straight, and it's really bloody and just full on, and it snaps.
It's quite brutal when the killer guy's got that pipe out of his bag, and he's smashing the head of that woman in the car with him. You're like, fuck.
It's full on. It's so full on. It said, very bleak and that, but awesome. Just absolutely loved it. I thought it was a fresh idea.
It's like the clever bit at the end, the whole fuck you he did at the end to him.
Yeah.
With his family and everything. I was like,
and
that's
he had
perfect.
to hold the rope between his teeth. Yeah. It was tied to a door, and it was a trap. It was set up as a guillotine because he was in his own slaughterhouse. He was in this serial killer's slaughterhouse sort of thing. Because what it is that
you get the shotgun to the door mechanism, kind of like that, but it's a guillotine, and the other end of the rope's connected to his teeth. So if someone opens the door and tries to pull it, they're going to pull it out of his mouth and the guillotine blade.
And obviously he can only hold so long onto that before it starts. Can you see it start pulling away from his teeth, and he's like, and it pulls, chop. But the microchip thing the capture what he swallows the tracker. He can talk, can he? He can talk and he can hear.
It's not just a tracker. He can hear what's.
It's got a microphone in it.
So.
And
for me, that was the most disgusting bit. The bloke knows about what's going on, and then he takes some diarrhea pills, and then he's rooting around in his own shit looking for the pill.
It looks so real.
That's more horrible than watching someone get a head.
It looks so real. But then I like that he twigs. He's like, I know what you're doing now, because he twigs that he's chasing him all the time. And he says, I'm going to really hurt you now. And he does, doesn't he?
He overhears the conversation after he gets beaten up, don't he?
Yeah, that's it. And he goes to the man who's chasing him. He goes to his wife who died's dad, isn't it? And he works for the police force.
His dad was a retired detective.
Yeah, that's it. Brutally hurts him, brutally ruins him, but kills the sister of his as well, and kills the sister of the girl who died, his wife who died. His wife who died's sister, he kills her,
really good.
Really
quite
good.
Brutal at times, but again, not in an overly gory way. It's all within context of what's going on the screen.
And if people want to check it out, I'm sure we'll let us say this, isn't we? And we let us say this. It's on YouTube.
It is. I
think it's on Netflix as well, isn't it?
Right.
Oh, I don't know. I know it's on YouTube.
I think I might have seen it on Netflix before.
It's all up on YouTube, the whole film.
Well, so as long as you didn't put it on YouTube, you can't get called for it, can you?
No, I'm just saying.
It was you, Joe.
Yeah. No, it's on there if anybody wants to check it out. It's really, really good if you like horror films and that sort of, quite bleak films. Just foreign. I always find foreign horror films are a lot better than like English and American horrors. I really do.
I'm a big fan of Asian.
I do. Cinema, and I like French horrors. I find they've made some good ones, like Switchblade Romance, Martyrs, and things like that.
Frontiers, that kind of
I think those kinds of people are just.
It's just a fresh idea.
They just want to push the boundaries, do something unique and new. Whereas American horrors, it's like, what can we do to make a quick buck? We've got $6 million. How about we've got a house? Let's say it's haunted or something.
Well, it's just a style as well. It's just how they do it. It's different to English.
Well, saying about American horror films set in a house, it was something we reviewed last year that could have been good, and it ended up being a home invasion movie.
Oh, you're talking about that.
And the sequel's out now.
Yeah.
Is it your next?
No.
Oh.
The Purge.
Purge too.
Oh, okay, right.
I actually checked out the new one.
Okay.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah.
Sweet. Because my friend said...
Much better.
Yeah?
It's what it should have been. It still should be a TV series, because it is a little bit... There's three groups of people. There's one, their car's been tampered with so that they break down, and this gang can then chase them during the Purge. There's a guy who's out for revenge, who is looking for someone else, and... there's another group that someone gets dragged out of a house. There's a rich guy who's basically sending out people in lorries to go and capture people and then take them back to all the rich fat cats can get together. They don't have to go on the street, and they can then have their own hunt, big money, and go and hunt these guys in their own little private area. And all these three people, their stories interweave, and they all get caught up in the same situation.
This is almost what we sort of said we would like to have seen in the first movie, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I guess they've kind of listened to the critics.
To us.
Yeah, they've listened to us. And
no one else, just us.
It is the film they should have made in the first place, because they had that great premise, and then they went, home invasion movie.
Yeah.
But did they do it again? Was it that sort of thing where they haven't got as much money to do it as to make it like a bigger thing like they have with the second one? Do you think it's that?
No. I think it looked pretty good, and I think they've done a good job of it. But I still think it would work better as a series.
Yeah.
So you get a couple of episodes, because the thing was, all these separate characters, they would have worked better having their own individual stories instead of like, they've all happened to meet up at this one place, and then they've all been captured and gone into this situation, and they're all doing this. I'd rather seen it as separate story threads, which I think a series would do it well, because you'd have a couple of episodes set before the Purge, and you see different people and what they're planning. So you get one from the gang and what they want to do, and then some people are like, shit, I need to barricade my house, and then go. The rest of their series leads into the Purge and follow all these different groups.
Yeah, because if the Purge 1 was almost like, maybe a 45-minute episode, you could probably go, all right, people probably would want to break into your house and try and murder you. But it's not just going to be that. It's not going to be like, all these people are going to go around going, right, there's nobody out here, I guess we've got to break in, there's going to be people caught up, cars breaking down, or,
And there's going to be the mentalists who want to just go out there and do some killing and take some people out and that way.
That's why I kind of like the bit, because there was a bit in the trailer, it's like, the car breaks down, that's a bit movie convenience, but it does like, this gang's clearly tampered with it beforehand, because they know, right, there's only 2 hours left, we'll get an easy victim this way, we'll fuck up their car and we'll just follow them. And then when the car breaks down, we'll be there ready. We're watching them, and as soon as that alarm sounds to say the Purge started, they're ours. And I kind of liked it. It was much better than.
Good.
Still not a brilliant film. Yeah. I still think it needs to be a series, but it was way. It's what it should have been.
You never know. They might do a TV series. You never know. TV series.
I reckon it'll be.
Is one of the main characters in it? Well, not the main character. The main actors, Frank Grillo, who played Crossbones in Captain America 2.
Do you know what? I didn't even take any notice of who was in it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's the cop, maybe, or whatever the guy is.
Yeah, I think I never watched the trailer, but I think I saw something that he was in it. I wondered if you noticed if he was any good or not.
I didn't really take any notice of who was who, to be honest. I just sort of sat and watched it and kind of enjoyed it a hell of a lot more than the first one.
That's good. Then I think it's going to encourage me to check it out. Possibly when it comes out on DVD, catch VOD or anything like that.
Definitely.
I also took a trip to the cinema on my week off, Orange Wednesdays. It's a godsend, because sometimes the cinema can be quite expensive, especially when you come out of the cinema not best pleased. Can you guess what movie I might have watched?
Yeah,
Expendables 3?
No, but it is a sequel.
Have another guess. What's that?
What sequels are at?
Let's just say you would absolutely hate it.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
I can't even think myself. Oh, God, you got to give me more.
So it's probably so bad that you haven't even registered on your radar.
That's an English one?
Yeah, it's an English. It came from a TV series, 3 series.
Inbetween.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. I did actually watch the first film.
Did you?
I've only seen bits of the series, I wasn't bothered. And the first film was just like, an extended episode.
Yeah.
The only bit I liked was at the end where you see Greg Davies like riding around on a quad bike with his shirt off being a complete mental.
Yeah.
And the rest of the film was just like, yeah, you've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie.
Yeah, unfortunately, the second movie just didn't work for me. I quite like I liked the first movie. I thought it was really funny, and it kind of felt fresh and almost needed because sort of the series was really good, and it kind of you wanted it to expand, them to go away from school and kind of have their own thing. And then the second movie come around, and it almost felt a bit too forced. It didn't feel organic, and it kind of felt like one of those things that's like, right, we're running out of money. We can't make another series. The movie's not doing so well now, people have already got it on DVD. What should we do? Oh, let's make a new one. What should we do? Dunno. Australia's a weird place, and it's hot, and they've got stuff in Australia. Yeah, set it in Australia. What should they do? Dunno. Should they just do stuff and then, funny stuff? Yes! Brilliant! That's the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
They do stuff and stuff happens and then
there you go.
Stuff. That's all I can really explain to it,
Just to try and push it.
So I wasn't bothered about the first movie. I really wouldn't.
I mean, even for fans of the first movie, watch it because you're probably going to be intrigued, but don't expect a lot. Don't expect it to be better. Don't expect it to be funnier, and don't expect it to have any resemblance of a plot. I mean, the first movie didn't really have much of a plot. It's it's four lads want to go out on a holiday and get laid and all stuff like that. But that felt like more of a plot than this one did to me. It's like, hey, let's go to Australia. Stuff.
Was there a reason for going to Australia?
Well, Jay, who's the one with the little fringe, he's the one who always says like clunge and bus wanker.
Oh, right,
the guy I can imagine you punching. He's in Australia for some reason. And then he writes them a letter saying, I get so much pussy out in Australia, obviously because he likes to tell lies, I'm living in this mansion, I'll get woken up to a blowjob.
Have they not figured this out yet then, that he's...
I don't understand.
It's took him a long while, hasn't it, to figure this out.
So the other three guys, they're at university, one of them's got a psycho girlfriend, the other one's got friends, but they really don't like him.
The guy with glasses, the one who says clunge, and the tall one. Yeah. Is there a fourth?
Yeah, it's Simon, the one with the fringe.
He's got a fringe crop or whatever it looks.
Oh, I think I know you mean.
Who got the yellow car in the series. Anyway, Jay's in Australia, and he writes them a letter, or writes Neil an email, and he's reading it out, getting laid, I've got this awesome job, I'm a DJ in a nightclub. So they're like, all right, life's a bit shit around here. He's got a psycho girlfriend. Neil's not doing very much, and Will, pretty much doesn't have any friends and spends his time at university in his room alone. So they all go out to Australia to meet Jay, and obviously he's not portrayed himself accurately. He lives in a tent in his uncle's front yard, and works in the toilet, which is a bit like, yeah, it's kind of funny, but...
expected.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you knew he wasn't going to be a big hotshot DJ and getting laid every time, and... Yeah, and then they just kind of stuff happens. It's
very disappointing.
Yeah,
It's a shame because obviously I would have. That's what I was going to go check out as well. So I don't know now what to do.
Go watch Guardians again.
Yeah.
Go, you can watch Expendables.
No, I wouldn't watch that. I know what I'm definitely going to watch when it comes out is Sin City 2.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's what I want to see.
I believe by the time this podcast comes out, it would have premiered in the UK. So
I'm going to go to the cinema and watch that one.
Yeah, it's something I'm going to look out for.
Yeah.
I did watch another sequel which you've saying about because you've just done a sequel. It's one that you actually did a short review for.
Okie dokie.
But it's just finished its run at the cinema.
Right.
For 22 Jump Street.
Okay.
I actually kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's alright now.
It almost got to the point where it's like you're being too self-referential, but they kind of reined it in just enough. Okay. And I like how, just to cut it short, because you've already reviewed this, their little rapport between one another, you could basically swap it into a romantic rom-com. Because it was basically, I think we should investigate other people, whereas you could swap it for, I think we should start seeing other people, which was quite clever.
Yeah.
And I like the little bit at the end where here's all the sequels.
That was my favourite part. That was 23 Jump Street, and it's like there are chefs or whatever. 24 Jump Street where there are like flower arrangers.
No, I'd like to. I haven't
seen it. It was quite good.
I'd like to see it.
I actually quite enjoyed it, and I'm not usually one for comedy stuff.
It's one of them things. It's like right, we did the first movie, and I'm sure it made a lot of money. People enjoyed it, and they're like, what do we do for the second movie? They're like, well, how about we do the exact same thing, but just kind of try and turn it on its head and almost be like, we're doing the same thing and you guys are going to come watch it, but we're doing something a little bit different, you know.
Well, there was that whole conversation where they're on about, we're doing the same thing the second time around, and all. It was technically it was a conversation about sequels.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
Yeah.
And the little conversation they have, isn't that convenient? It was an abandoned church just opposite us.
Yeah.
I bet next year we'll be over the road where there's 23 Jump Street.
Yeah.
And then they walk in and going, oh, look at the boss. They spent a lot of money. Look at the boss's office. It looks like a giant cube of ice.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, you're nearly going too far. And then they just sort of reined it in at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, well done. Because any more would have been too much.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it was actually good fun. I quite enjoyed it. Although the bit I thought was the funniest, there's a bit that was in the trailer right at the start where they're in the Mexican gang. Channing Tatum's like, why don't you speak? And he's going, my name is Jeff.
I thought it was Bora. I like it. Hello.
I like the drugs.
Yeah, that's cool.
But Jonah Hill had a hand in writing the movie, so obviously.
Yeah, and I think did they both produce it? I think.
I'm not quite sure, but it just goes to show that Jonah Hill's a pretty funny guy and
clever guy.
Within the constraints of that movie, there's only so far you can go, and it's obviously he's looked at it and gone, well, if we just play the same old thing again, but just twist it around and just make it referential, but not go too far.
Saying about the bit at the end as well. Do you like the bit when they've done the whole Jonah Hill's not in this movie in one of the sequels, and Steph Rogen was doing it?
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Yeah, impressive stuff. So we're all movied out. Should we talk about a bit of news that's come out?
Go on then.
Whether this loads or not, because I haven't got the internet.
I'm not movied out. I've got my list of films I've watched this week, but I'll save that for now.
Well, earlier on today, or earlier on in the podcast, I should say, we mentioned Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright and Nick Frost.
I read.
Apparently, Pegg and Wright are working on a new movie.
That's cool.
They haven't said whether it's going to be part of their Cornetto series or, as they've made mention, maybe go on to a Magnum trilogy or something like that. But Simon Pegg was having an interview on BBC Six Music because he's just got a new movie that's come out, Hector and the Search for Happiness.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen the trailer. I don't know
I've not seen anything.
I don't know if I'm interested, really. I don't know.
No, it kind of seems like one of those movies where it's like they've kind of picked Simon Pegg because he's a lovable kind of guy and he could probably fit into the whole exploration rom-com almost sort of movie, which he's kind of done before. But yeah, I guess he was plugging that.
They always work better though when they were working together. That's when they always do their best.
Of course,
stuff, I think.
They do,
Yeah. So Pegg and Wright are collaborating, and they even have a title, but they're not really going to announce it just yet because people will be like on them, just be like, "What are you going to do?" You know. You've done a zombie movie, you've done a cop movie, you've done an alien movie, what are you going to do next? You're going to do some sort of superhero movie?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Let's put it to us.
See, I think
what would we like?
Edgar Wright should do a superhero movie because they took him off Ant-Man.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, fuck you, I'll do it. Like I said before, like Sam Raimi did with Darkman. He wanted to do a Spider-Man film, he did eventually. He wanted to do one back in the day and they were like, or was it The Shadow, something like that. And they were like, no, you're not, superhero movies are crap. They don't sell. So he's like, fuck it, I'll do my own one. I think that'd be nice to see Edgar Wright
Nick Frost as a sidekick. That'd be awesome.
So
what about you?
Yeah, I don't know.
What would you like them to?
They've done zombie, and that's sort of a cult thing.
Yeah.
Maybe they could just kind of take the vampire genre and just completely just save it.
Yeah,
because I think there was a point in time where zombie movies for me were getting really tiresome. It was like there was one coming out every week or whatever, and it was like you've seen that kind of stuff before. And then Shaun of the Dead come out, and it's like
fresh,
this is good. It's new, it's unique, it's fresh, like you said. And I think they kind of saved it, in a sense.
It did give the zombie genre a good boot up the arse, because then people started thinking, hang on, although it did also then a whole slew of fucking copycats, but at least people went, we can do something a little bit different with a zombie film, whilst also keeping the core of what a zombie film should be.
I mean, it's George Romero's favourite zombie film.
Well, he put Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg were in Land of the Dead.
Well, they were the ones in
there were zombies in the cage.
The things were throwing at them. I don't know what.
So do you guys think they could do a decent vampire movie? I think they probably could, but has there been too much come out?
But then again,
that's the thing.
I suppose.
But then again,
what about lesbian vampire killers? That sort of thing. No, I'm saying it's been done by
British
comedians, sort of things,
Again,
and that wasn't amazing, was it? I didn't mind it. I wouldn't go. This was amazing, but I didn't
like it. Really,
no?
It was a bit dull. Why did they not explode into blood? It looked like everyone was getting spunk exploded.
It's very safe.
But it weren't even that funny, I didn't think. I'm not a fan of James Corden, so I didn't really...
I'm thinking what I'd like.
But it's a great title. It's like, lesbian vampire killers, sounds great. Are they lesbians who kill vampires? They were the vampires lesbians? You didn't tell me that much, but...
I don't know what I'd say I'd like.
Werewolf movie?
Did you ever, we mentioned Grindhouse plenty of times. Did you ever see the fake trailer they made?
Yeah.
Called Don't?
Yeah.
Because there was all those Don't movies back in the like, don't look in the basement, don't open the door and all this sort of thing, and they just done one called Don't. It was all like,
cool.
If you're thinking of going in the house, don't.
Yeah.
If you're thinking there's a don't. And it was all like,
there,
Simon Pegg in like a Nazi uniform and Nick Frost dancing around and like there's a giant man baby and a huge
weird,
nappy, and it was like,
very
this is
strange.
fucking awesome.
No, I don't know what I'd want.
They love action
Probably
films, they
some-
love horror, they love sci-fi. They're probably going to stay in that
What
kind
about-
of...
Yeah. Something probably historic, something old,
Period
like
piece.
period.
Downton Abbey with zombies.
I say, sir.
something like the war or something, sort of like Inglourious Bastard. Let them do something like that.
I don't know. That doesn't feel really British to me. Like I think they kind of
It'd
kept
just be
within the
interesting.
realms,
It'd
didn't
just be
they? Like
interesting.
Hot Fuzz, it was all about sort of the bobbies and blue and Shaun of the Dead.
the action film. Right?
Yeah, like cricket bats and kind of the English thing of going to the pub. Same thing with the World's End. It wasn't like when I think of war, I kind of think of like Americans trying to do like.
But then
war
again,
movies.
No, but I'm talking about the war years ago.
World
that's what I'm
War
talking about.
years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Not the one last week.
I think maybe like First World War with the trenches.
No, that's what I
always
meant,
been.
yeah. I didn't
you see
mean
that
like-
as more of a British kind of thing.
Yeah.
Don't you?
What like sort of almost Dad's Army, but not.
That sort of thing.
Well,
Blackadder, that sort of.
I was thinking more like that Death Line or whatever.
Yeah,
Death
I
Line.
could see them
One
doing
that we
some.
mentioned loads of times.
They
with
could
the
probably
Jamie
do some
Bell
good with
thing,
that.
I don't know, but they love action, horror, and sci-fi, so they probably stay in those boundaries. But yeah, it could be.
And it's going to have their kind of creative input with regards to comedy and stuff like that. So I think a war movie's a bit and they could probably do it and it would work. But to me, a war movie's a bit like if you kind of make it comedy, it probably might not work. I don't know. Maybe they might do like a space movie.
They're actually in,
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, I don't really care because I'm going to
I
watch
could
it
see them
regardless.
doing really well.
I love the previous 3 films, so there's no reason for me not to go and watch whatever they do next.
Yeah, definitely.
Not unless they're doing a live action Care Bears and I want to draw it. But
Well, did you know that Sean and his undead buddy Ed are doing a reprise of their roles
That's cool.
oh, okay.
in the cartoon Phineas and Ferb?
All right.
Have you guys
I
ever
did
seen
see
that?
I've never seen it, but
Not seen that. I've not seen that. No, but I
that
did see the
Nickelodeon
picture
thing?
of it.
Yeah, apparently Phineas and Ferb are doing a up-and-coming Halloween special, and Sean and Ed are going to make a little bit of a cameo.
That's cool.
I don't know what it's going to be like, but yeah.
There's got to be you got red on you.
Yeah,
It's got to be done.
but
What is that? I don't know what that is. Is that a TV show? Is it?
Phineas and
cartoon,
Ferb's like, it's a cartoon
It's like a
thing
kid's
show.
show.
I think
Yeah,
it's Nickelodeon, isn't it? Or
I'm not
something like that.
quite sure. What have we got here? Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
doesn't
I'm up
really
for
sort
that.
of say.
No,
I'm
that'd
going
be
to watch
cool.
it now just for that.
Yeah.
It's like-
Did anybody ever get into the Rob Zombie El Beasto? Was it Super?
Super Beat. I've never watched it.
That's supposed to be good, and I think they're all on Netflix as well.
I've heard very mixed, but
Yeah.
I want to check
I've
it
never,
out.
yeah, I'd like to check them out. I think they're all on there.
Yeah, El Super Beasto.
Yeah.
It's got a whole. Is it the Mysterious World or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
You got any news you can talk about, Mark?
It depends. Shall I do a quick rundown of the films I watched this week to get it out of the way?
Go on.
Okay, watched all 3 Cube films. Cube 2, Hyper Zero, Hypercube, and then Cube Zero.
I've seen them all, but quite a while back.
Don't know if you
but
know
I
those
like
ones,
them.
Sean.
No.
Sort of sci-fi horror. The first one, a group of people wake up you're in a cube room. There's a door on every single wall, the floor and the ceiling, and the majority of the rooms are also trapped, and they're just trying to figure out their memories have been wiped.
And it was before Saw and all that. It
Yeah,
was very
it kind of
fresh.
like,
it was
what
quite
are we
new
doing
when
in
it
this
came
room?
out. It was very fresh, wasn't it?
Well, why are we here?
Yeah.
How the hell do we get out? There's one guy who's a bit. Is he mentally challenged?
That's it.
Yeah.
After
After I watched the film,
autistic,
he's got one
yeah.
hand in a fist, and his other one is always tapping, and the rooms are different colours. So you're like, this room is blue. And it's like-
What he's doing?
but it's a really good film. Really, really good. The second one goes a little bit odd. The cube then breaks the 4th dimension, and then the last film was actually a prequel. And they're all. It's
Some good deaths.
It's a good series.
Some
yeah.
good deaths as well.
It's a good series. Well, I kind of liked all of them. The first one's the best, but I do like them all.
I really enjoyed the first one as well.
I also watched a Japanese movie called Dororo.
Okay.
It's based on everyone's going to hate me for not remembering the guy's name. The manga was done by the guy who originally created Astro Boy,
Yeah.
Dororo is basically a kid. His dad made a pact with 48 demons that he could rule the world, or at least ancient Japan anyway, in return for his son's life. So each of these demons took a body part from his son. So when his son was born, he was just this, basically like a little maggot thing with no eyes or nose or anything like that. So they did a thing of like stick him in a basket, send him down the river. Oh, he gets found by a alchemist who's skilled in the healing arts and regrowing limbs. So he attaches
limbs. Lucky.
Hand in.
That was very
fake
lucky.
limbs on the guy, and then he has swords and plates. He can pull his forearm off and his sword blades in there, and he goes down to hunt the demons. And when he kills one, he'll get the body part back that the demon had. That was a really cool film.
Again, it seems quite nice fresh idea.
So what was that called?
Dororo.
Dororo.
It means little
Dorothy.
monster, apparently.
Hmm.
And the other two I've watched, one called All About Evil. It's at the time of our Sharknado, it's got an ex-American pie actress in it. I can't remember her name. She was like the frumpy one who never actually did much. Biggish hair.
Sort of the lesbian-y type.
Kind of, yeah.
Not the gingerhead one.
Sort of, yeah.
The gingerhead.
But actually, once she just gave a bit of advice to people and didn't really do much else.
Flew up my pussy, that one.
No.
She was a ginger, but she
She had big hair and a bit frumpy and didn't really do much. Just went.
Oh, she's a friend of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Just gave a bit of advice and didn't really do anything else.
Yeah, the friend of them.
She inherits a movie theatre from her grandfather, I think, and it just shows horror films, but not many people are going. And she ends up killing someone, and people see the CCTV footage of it and think she'd made this short film, and the effects are really good, and people start coming to see it. So she starts killing more people to make a short film.
Is it what? Yeah, is it worth watching or is it shit?
It might do. There's lots of little references in there, but I kind of flatlined through it.
Yeah.
And the last film I watched was called The Wild Man of the Navidad.
Say again?
Yeah, The Wild Man of the Navidad. It's Bigfoot. There's Bigfoot type sightings at this place called the Navidad River. Got a nice aesthetic to it. Feels like the original Texas Chainsaw. Got that nice 1970s feel to it, even though it's a 2008 film. But after 20 minutes or so, it don't really do anything. And then another 20 minutes go by, and the Wild Man was basically a biggish guy who you don't see him. He's in a coat made of rabbit pelts. And I don't know if he's supposed to have antlers for hands or not, but he's got antlers poking out of his sleeves, and that's what he kills people with. And it's a shame it fizzled out, because it's got a really good look to it.
Are you sure he weren't dyslexic when you said Navidad and he meant the Wild Man of Nevada?
The Wild Man of Nevada. So yeah, that's what I've watched this week.
Hey!
Now, you mentioned Texas Chainsaw there. That's what I picked up from there. I was kind of faffing about with my...
He wasn't even listening to me.
I wasn't even listening to you. I was kind of intrigued by the Dororo. Yeah, that sounded really good. And
the only problem with it is it does kind of end... You know, he's killed 24 of the demons, 24 to go, and they never made another film. Which is a shame, but I've never read the comics.
So he's just walking around with like one arm and one leg and an eye.
He's sort of got there, but
I need a bloody sequel!
He's got artificial ones. The fake one will fall out and the real one will grow in or whatever. Anyway.
So yeah, you mentioned Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Did you know they're planning a prequel?
They did, didn't they? Oh no, they didn't. No, sorry.
Yeah, well, I think it got announced and then they changed writer and all that kind of stuff. Well, they've got a new title and a new screenwriter, and the film is now officially titled Leatherface.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
because we're not like massive. I mean, I like them as to watch. I like to watch them. Yeah, I'm not like blown away again by them.
The latest one, though, not the remake, the new one.
Chainsaw 3D.
The one that was 3D.
Yeah, that was
fucking hated.
And what was she befriends him at the end?
Yeah.
She sits down. That was fucking stupid.
We've made Leatherface.
She's related to him, weren't she?
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, was he a uncle or something?
Yeah,
but the timeline was all out because it's supposed to be a sequel to the original one. I'm thinking, yeah, they did that with Texas Chainsaw 2 for fuck's sake. But
we've done a sequel.
Yeah, but then if you look at her age, she should be my age because she was born then. When
that's true. Yeah,
and it's like she don't look late 30s to me.
Fucking balls. Yeah, it's all bullshit.
It's like she looks like 20s.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it.
I didn't like it. No. It was just sympathetic Leatherface. I don't fucking think so.
And then he's chasing her all that time, and then she's alright. Sit down.
He spots her necklace or something, don't he? And goes,
let's sit down and have a cup of tea. Shut the door. That's the end, isn't it? So they sit down. It's just like what?
Well, technically, Leatherface was always a bit picked on by his older brothers.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't be a sympathetic character to that extent of like, and even the fact that a cop let him go at the end, it was like, he's killed these people, but he's alright. He's helped that girl.
Boys will be boys.
Yeah.
with chainsaws.
Boys and their
Let's talk about this over a lovely cup of tea.
Yeah, no, it was done.
Yeah, the film has been appointed a new screenwriter with Seth M. Sherwood now on board to pen the script, and a director is expected to be added in the mix in the next couple of weeks. They plan to start production in winter of this year, so maybe 2015 October release. Get it in for Halloween.
I thought you were going to say it's going to be directed by Seth Rogen. That'd be fucking crazy.
Leatherface goes around with a big spliff in his mouth.
Split.
Oh, yeah, I'm alright.
See, because of how bad the other one was, I just don't.
Apparently it did all right in cinemas, but then it just kind of dropped off really
because
bad.
people went to watch it. Because I thought the trailer was like, it might be alright.
Yeah.
It's not a remake, it's actually like a sequel. We're going, because me and Amy went and watched it, and then it was like, yeah, it's crap.
Yeah,
the
wasn't
3D
it?
was awful. The
Was
best
it?
bit of
I didn't
3D was the bit they showed of the original 1977 film. Like, I don't get how that was the best bit that was in 3D. The rest of it, you're sitting there going, oh fuck, I've got glasses on. I completely forgot it was a 3D film. There was nothing.
Stupid, isn't it?
It was terrible. Yeah, I really didn't like it.
Now, speaking of sequels, we have talked about it before. Godzilla 2 has been announced, and it now has a release date.
Ooh.
But unfortunately, we're going to have to wait 4 years.
Oh, okay, I was gonna guess
2018.
I'm going to say 5 years.
That's fine.
Yeah, so the follow-up to Gareth Edwards' franchise reboot has been penciled in for June 8th, 2018. So I guess it's got the whole summer there to trample on the competition, as it says in this article.
So what year is Pacific Rim 2 out? Is that the year before? They're not going to come out the same year.
Sure, but so I think it's coming out sort of so late because Edwards has been penned in to do a Star Wars spin-off.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is currently slated for a 16th of December 2016 release date. So I guess he's got to kind of get that out of the way, show that, and then start work on Godzilla 2 and think of a way how to bring Bryan Cranston back to life so we can actually have a good actor in this movie.
Well, Ken Harvey could still be in it, but just give him more to do. It should have been Bryan Cranston teaming up with Ken Watanabe.
It would have been, yes, that's right. I was fucking gutted when I was at the cinema.
I've watched it
when he died.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it, and I think initially I really disliked Aaron Taylor Johnson. I think I was a bit harsh on that. It was okay, but there was nothing about his character that stood out. Whereas Cranston straight away at the start, he's shouting for his wife, and you're like, fucking hell.
I know.
Saying about the start of Guardians of the Galaxy. Is that a kick in the stomach right at the beginning? You're like,
I know what you're saying.
Oh, here comes the film. Oh, his mum's dying of cancer.
That's what me and Chud were talking about when we went to see this. And I was like, fucking hell, I put a downer straight on it, don't it? There's kids in there and that and stuff, and this is like
but then it just like completely just turns it around when he's on that planet and he grabs that little monster and he starts singing into it like a microphone. I was like, I'm gonna love this movie straight away.
But it was a proper like bang, his downbeat start for it.
Straight in your ears.
Wow, this is kind of harsh for it.
We like to kick you in the balls.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about the potential monsters that Godzilla will have to face in number 2?
No, I've been dwelling on it.
There's rumours that Rodan, Mothra, and Ghidorah will all feature in some capacity. So whether they're just going to be like
Ghidorah, Jesus.
Yeah, whether it's going to be like Rodan and Mothra are just going to be like kind of supplementary villains where it'll just be like bash him the fuck up, and then it'll be like, all right, here's a big massive 3-headed monster.
I wondered Mothra,
have at it.
because there was a hint of Mothra in the original. They had his name was on a tank in the house.
Tank thing when they're in that abandoned house.
I wasn't expecting Rodan because he was like the flying thing, and it's like, well, you kind of had your flying one anyway. But I kind of like, do we want Ghidorah? Kind of do, but don't know. Is a 3-headed like, space dragon a bit silly?
As a number 3 or something, maybe kind of build up to it. You know, you got your first he fights sort of 2 things. Maybe they just have to ramp up the carnage, and they're a bit like, well, if we just do 1 villain for the next movie, it'd be like, well, there was 2 Mutos in the first one. You know, he's got to at least face equal or better an opponent. But
see, I wasn't sure because I was thinking this after watching, going, what monster will have in the next one? I'm like, you know what, I don't know. Would they go down the Mecha Godzilla route where they're like, well, we can't always rely on Godzilla, we'll build our own one.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's gone
so that seems kind of plausible. It does seem out there and bizarre, but maybe for the 3rd one, they're like, right, these monsters keep coming and fucking up our city. Godzilla, God bless him, keeps bashing these villains back to oblivion, but he does mess up the city a little bit too much. How about we make a mechanized Godzilla to maybe help Godzilla out and maybe stop a bit of the destruction.
Plausible.
It's difficult to do it in a plausible setting. You can get away with it when it's guys in puppet suits smashing up a tiny little cardboard city. You don't mind, but then when you try to do it serious, you kind of. But then again, you kind of just accept it with the old film, so you probably would now. Yeah. I could quite happily sit and watch all of them, and nearly all of them. But.
And in more news about release dates, myself, Joe, and Chud, we talked about this probably maybe 10 episodes ago. We had a good laugh with it, talking about the time Chud got kicked in the face when he was playing this particular franchise with his friends. And
all of it. I can't think either.
Power Rangers.
Right.
So the Power Rangers movie officially gets its 2016 release date, maybe 22nd of July in the US. And what we can expect is the film is a modern reinvention of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, a group of ordinary high school kids who find themselves infused with extraterrestrial powers and must harness those powers as a team to save the world. Does that sound like what happened in the first one? I don't remember their origin story. I just remember like watching it and being like, they are the Power Rangers, you know, and they have a weird little belt thing where they go, it's morphin time, and then...
So I was always a little bit too old to really
that's what, like I said, I did say this, like that's when I knew I was a little bit older than Sean, because he still liked it, and I was a bit like, no, I must be getting older, because I'm not really getting
into it. It was a really racist show, though, because it was something that, a Japanese show where they then cut out all the bits with the Japanese people in it, and then replaced everything with American actors. Yeah. Like, wow.
But then had the yellow suit, and it
was
still
a Chinese kept the original.
A yellow suit, and it was a Chinese person. The black suit, it was a black man. It's just like...
Well,
I don't know what I think of it though, because you just look at all like the Transformers and Ninja Turtles, where it's all like a big CGI shit fest. I don't know. It's one of those when trailers come out.
I suppose they do need an origin story, because you're going to want all that.
I'd rather see, because
kids will want that.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, you're gonna have to do. Yeah, because if you're restarting a franchise, you're gonna have to do an origin story.
They're gonna want all that. Yeah.
I'd rather see it like, even though you hate it, it's still the end of Big Man Japan, just like dumb shit with people in suits. I'd rather see that.
Yeah, maybe not. And it says here that X-Men First Class writer Ashley Miller and Jack Stentz are currently hard at work on the script, with Roberto Orsi on executive producer duties. Okay. Do you guys know the name Roberto Orsi?
I don't.
He helped out J.J. Abrams for Star Trek 2, and apparently he's directing and writing Star Trek 3.
Oh, okay.
So obviously J.J.'s off doing more war type things in the Stars.
He's doing Star Wars.
Stars. So yeah, if he's got something to do with it, it might be good, but who knows?
Oh, that's fine.
Now, that's interesting.
How about something last week? He was full of praise for my daughter. Although roughly about that time as you were saying that, she was apparently being a little madam. So that kind of ruined it. But Sunday, I don't know if it's something you guys ever did when you were children. I took it to Ferry Meadows, and they had some free events on there for kids, and I took a pond dipping. Is that something you guys ever did anything like that as a kid?
I don't think we did, no.
Pond dipping?
Yeah, I used to like, because you've got all the ditches and things, I used to go and like get a bucket and a net, and you go and catch sticklebacks and shit like that, and random fish
and the newts and stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing
you guys ever done anything like that?
And frog spawn and...
Probably
newts have frog spawn, don't they?
No. Frog spawn is frog eggs.
Closest thing to that is probably going to Hunstanton Beach and catching a jellyfish or a crab and going, look what I found! And then lobbing it back in the sea. And like, well, yes, a bit of a stupid thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's only a crab.
No, right, okay. I used to do it as a kid, and I made a mistake once. I had a fish tank at home actually, and I had like loads of sticklebacks in it, and I made a mistake of putting in a big, like a great diving beetle, and then watched as it ate everything in there. I'm like, okay, they're fucking hungry. But took her and pond dipping at Ferry Meadows, and she really enjoyed it. She caught like loads of little, the tiny like water fleas, a couple of things I'd never seen before, a water scorpion and a water stick insect, never seen them before. Caught a little newt, which was good, leeches, snails, that kind of thing.
That's awesome.
My daughter, being the creepy child that she is, takes after me. Her favourite animal, the big leech that we found. Yeah.
Did you keep it?
Did you put it on your skin?
Well, they don't really go on people. They'll grip on you, but they won't really bite and drink from us, because I guess they're not used to it. We don't taste right. They eat fish and stuff like that. They're used to that.
I thought you were going to say you're going to have like an eclectic animal mix at home. You got your bat that you caught from last week.
The cat was stunned by the jug.
Yeah, stick a leech in a tank, and you go into your daughter's bedroom and just be like, this is a bit weird, isn't it? You got a bat there, leech there, you know, I don't know, cockroaches or
I think the
whatever.
leech is your favourite. Well, sure you'd pick the newt. It's like this little lizard thing. Like, no, the leech, because it was all weird and stretchy and all this stuff. Okay.
That's
Do you know what it
awesome.
eats? She goes, and she pointed at me. So I'm like, oh, okay.
That's awesome.
Maybe you could stick loads of leeches on your head and then you'd have hair, or like a leech mohawk or something like that.
Leech cornrows.
They just move it like that. Like Snoop Dogg.
Speaking of cornrows,
Wow, that's a big segue.
Wow! Is it Children of the Corn?
do you remember Spring Breakers? James Franco, he had
He
cornrows.
can't remember that, can you?
Well, we're not talking about Spring Breakers, we're talking about James Franco and Seth Rogen. Have you heard about their movie that's up and coming called The Interview?
No.
Basically, the premise about this movie is that Seth Rogen's character is like a TV producer, and James Franco's character is a TV personality. And apparently, Kim Jong-un is a fan of their show, so he invites them over to come and interview them. Yeah, only they could write it, or maybe South Park, but they've kind of been
Again,
there.
it's
with
probably
it.
stoned. What can we do?
Yeah. So basically, the whole premise of the movie is the CIA or whatever, the American FBI, whatever, they get in contact with Seth and James, and well, they're not called Seth and James because that'd be kind of lazy writing, but those characters, and sort of say, well, Kim Jong-un is a bit of a dick. How about you assassinate him? So they kind of go in a training montage and they go over to North Korea and they want to...
Are they going to take over the country? Is that where this is going?
No, I think they want to assassinate Kim Jong-un because he's a dick, obviously.
Yeah.
And apparently North Korea actually caught wind of this and were threatening nuclear war if the movie came out.
Oh, God.
And I just thought, what the hell, you know? It's, satire, you know, have a laugh, Kim, you know.
Get a plane and just airdrop copies of Team America down on them.
Yeah. And there was a big whole thing. It's like, is it going to be released? And I thought, you know, freedom of expression, you know, in a vein of comedy and, you know, just art and stuff like that. They have to release it. But I read online today, apparently the film is actually given a quick digital slice up, and they've taken a few of the images out there that Mr. Jong-un doesn't really find pleasurable.
That'd be most. Who cares, really? I mean,
imagine that.
Well,
we released a film and it's destroyed
Exactly,
America.
it'd be
It's
like-
destroyed America. It's your fault.
doesn't this hark back to the whole head in the sand episode thing that was in South Park
Yeah.
with the Mohammed thing? And
Yeah.
that? You kind of like.
Yeah, if you can't push that far, then that's your limit, and nobody's ever going to go that far. Nobody's ever going to be able to reach that height, go past the glass ceiling. And then art has
Smashed through the ceiling. Sorry.
you know, art has boundaries where, you know, certain people, and to an extent, I'm a believer that art shouldn't really have boundaries. You know,
no one likes boundaries, do
Well,
they? If
to me,
someone
it's more
if I told you to do something there,
or if somebody,
you'd go against me and probably
Or
just be
if-
like, no, I don't want to.
or
I'm blaming you again,
if
so-
YouTube started listening to our podcast and said you're only allowed 3 fucks and 1 cunt, you know, what would we do? We'd turn up and go,
That's all of us. We're the 3 fucks, and Chud could be. Sorry, Chud. You're not here, so.
but that's what we'd do. We'd want to push the boundaries and be like, right,
Yeah.
okay, this episode, right, you get 1 fuck, you get 1 fuck, I get 1 fuck, Chud gets 1 fuck, and then, you know, we'll have a communal fuck, and then,
This is a porno. That's what this reminds me.
and then, you know,
And then we'll
see
all
what
let out a
YouTube
big
do to
cunt
that, and then
in
they'll
them.
probably be like, all right, you know, you can have, all right, 5 fucks in a cunt, and then, you know, you'd want to push those boundaries,
Yes, you would.
but if they just kept saying, no, we don't want rude language on here, you know, you'd go elsewhere, but I don't believe in sort
But to
of
me,
like-
it's more because, which I think they did in that South Park thing I referenced, is because if you cut a section because Group A doesn't like a part of that film, so you're like, oh, we'll take it out because Group A doesn't like it. What's to stop Group B then turning up going, oh, we don't like this bit. You took it out for them, you've got to take it out for us, and eventually you're just going to keep cutting and cutting.
And water it down big time.
yeah, Seth
No
Rogen.
matter what you do, someone somewhere is probably going to take offence, regardless of what it is.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can't please everyone, and you shouldn't have to. As long as you're happy with your work.
Yeah, Seth Rogen co-wrote and directed the film with Evan Goldberg, which he wrote things like Knocked Up and Superbad, I
think it's
believe.
Superbad, right.
And the release date has been shifted to Christmas in the States and January 30th, 2015 here in the UK. And let's hope the movie comes out and we don't get bombed by the North Koreans.
They'd have to, like, get right up to our shores, I think, though, wouldn't they? Have a missile.
Well, we'd probably be alright, but maybe America, you know, and
Just wipe America
start
out.
off World War III.
Wow, James Franco, you
Well,
ruined
Well, it's alright, Seth Rogen's Canadian, isn't he?
Send him faulty maps. So he's like, I'm not. Shall I do? I was going to do a North Korean accent, I won't now.
No, we'll get bombed. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, if I just send him a wrong map, so it's like, America, this way, and then they just go and
Just bomb Australia. Oh, sorry, Australia.
Don't worry,
like-
Dennis Rodman has sorted everything out. He's good friends with him, isn't he?
Apparently, yeah.
Have you seen none of the videos?
No, I've heard about it, but I didn't take
He
it.
proper defends him. They sit at this table and watch basketball matches in Korea and stuff, and it's
So remember,
it's
this
just
is a bloke
ridiculous.
who I'd said way back in one of our early podcasts, he's pretty much made the whole nation like limited on haircuts.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, you all look like me.
There's this one where he's doing a report and Dennis Rodman's on there. He's like, "How dare you talk about him like that? You don't know him," and all this. And he's getting really agitated. You got to check them out. They're hilarious.
Well, was
Yeah,
it?
but he's going to say that because like, don't talk about him like that. He's got my family hostage.
Mustn't say that.
You'll be good, Rodman. Oh, kill wife.
You think one of them these earrings, what I'm wearing, is an earring note in? Is a device to blow me up at any time?
You'll play basketball.
Wasn't it
I'll
you
stop
that's
now.
telling me about Kim Jong-un once played a round of golf?
I know it was his. That was his.
Was it his
His
dad?
dad.
Ill,
Yeah,
was
I
it
think
Kim
it was his
Jong-un?
dad that done it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he's anything like his dad, he might be like, right, yeah, I played against Dennis Rodman in basketball, got 6 3-pointers.
Well, his dad kidnapped, I think, a Japanese director and got him to make his own Godzilla movie just for
I
him.
heard that.
They just
Imagine one of the basketball players is really tired. I kill you now, get new one, bring new one out. New player comes on.
Dennis Rodman, I don't like you anymore, I want Michael Jordan.
No problem, I crown you. Dennis Rodman crown.
And crown you a bowl cut.
Michael Jordan in better movie than Double Team.
Oh, God, I
I'll
think
be back and fry.
They're gonna kill Chapter
Kim Jong-il's listeners, I hate no ChapterSkip.
I got my finger on red button.
Imagine waking up and watching the breaking news and it's just like it's just got videos of us on the news and
In
stuff.
hiding, these guys. Salman Rushdie.
Yeah, we were worried about Seth Rogen and James Franco causing World War III. Turns out 3 dicks in Whiz Beach.
Dicks at Wisbech.
Yeah.
3 fucks and a cunt. We've probably got one Korean listener who's like, they're so racist. Sorry, I'm not being racist to Korea, I'm just taking the piss out of Kim Jong-il.
Yeah, South Korea, brilliant.
Yeah,
North
mate.
Korea,
awesome
not
movies,
so much.
as we talked about at the start.
Japan, awesome. China, pretty good as well, you know.
I've just remembered something else. Well, I remember just looking at me on my notes, but way back 3 or 4 weeks ago, we mentioned a TV series that we was going to talk about it each week, and we haven't. I don't know if you've been keeping up to date on Face Off.
I have up until this week off where I fell into the chasm, so I think I'm on like episode 2 or 3.
Oh, right, I'm on 4, I think now.
Yeah, so
The
I've actually
one
got
with
a
the
couple
tree
to catch
creatures.
up.
Oh, right, okay.
So I'm looking forward to that. I do like
Enjoying
that
it?
sometimes when you don't watch a series for a little while and you're like, oh, I've got like 3 episodes to watch. Amazing.
So you saw the Gangsters one?
Yeah, I saw the Gangsters one.
I think the team that won it deserved to win it. They got the best one, the tuna guy.
Yeah. That's
And
really
they even
good.
have like a little working cigar that had talcum powder to make the smoke, which was a brilliant idea.
Now, I think I might have seen the one after that as well, which was some sort of...
Not aliens, was it? Or
It was to do with monuments, was it?
oh, the Easter Island kind
Yeah,
of.
it
was like aliens. Yeah, it was like here
Stonehenge, Easter
landmarks.
Island.
If aliens
Yeah.
made these landmarks, what
That's
did the
right,
aliens
yeah.
look
I
like?
watched
Yeah.
that one, so I probably only got like maybe 1 or 2 to
Yeah,
catch
there's
up
only
on.
one after that until this week. I think it was tree beings. They're kind of like, you had tree people in Lord of the Rings, all this sort of thing.
Group.
Oh, I think it's a bit too late. Yeah, they missed the group train, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's still a pretty good series. I think.
Yeah.
There's got a few favourites in there. Yeah. Okay, no, right.
No,
We haven't really been up to date enough on that one.
No, that's the kind of thing. It sort of comes out and then it's been... Because we record a podcast on maybe a Monday or a Tuesday, it gets released in America on maybe a Tuesday evening or whatever. So it's like we watch it maybe on the Wednesday or whatever.
I don't usually
And then
get
it's
to it
almost
till
like another
Saturday or
week
something.
until we've come back here and then
Yeah.
a lot more news has happened. World War III's kicked off and, I go and have spa treatments and watch Bridget Jones' Diary.
Saying about news, obviously, you've been out the loop, but you heard about Robin Williams, I presume.
Unfortunately, yeah, that was kind of kick-started my holiday with a bit of a sad bang, really. I woke up Wednesday morning, and as you do, well, I don't know whether you guys do, I'm sure you do, Joe, you grab your phone or, your tablet, your laptop, and you just click on Facebook.
Technologically advanced. Mark doesn't.
Well, no, I'm just, you've got more important things to...
Matt grabs his calculator.
He grabs a rock that's been carved with runes.
Well, I can imagine you would grab a child and feed them or something like that. Whereas
he casts his runes into the fire and foresees the future.
I knew the evening on Tuesday because I'm up all night watching bloody films and stuff, so I knew that. I'm through Facebook. I was like, what?
Yeah, mine was just a Wednesday wake up. You see the first post, you're like, R.I.P. Robin Williams. You're like, right, is this a fake one? So you go on Google, you put in Robin Williams, and you see the news, and it says, obviously, actor Robin Williams has died.
The impact for me was somewhat diminished because someone on my Facebook thing had put a picture of Robbie Williams for his Facebook, and they was like, "Why have you done that?" It's like, "Oh, because he's dead." And I was like, "No, that's Robin Williams."
Did you know he got a lot of people asking if he was dead on his Twitter feed?
What did you ask? Are you dead?
Robbie Williams did. Like, a lot of people thought he died.
What do you ask on the Twitter feed? They're not going to fucking answer.
Or whatever. They really thought he was dead. Like so many of his.
But I did kind of diminish it because I was going, "You're a twat. You don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah,
it's sad. It's very sad.
Yeah,
it was really depression, wasn't it?
Yeah, depression. It's
obviously a serious thing.
It's a nasty thing
to think that someone who's that popular and well liked would still have that as an issue. That there was no one he felt he could turn to, I guess, for that.
But that's the thing, and they always sort of say like the most kind of out there, kind of funny, laughable characters always got their problems in the dark side.
Stephen Fry's,
he nearly killed himself. It's totally sad because.
A public figure as well.
Yeah, it's totally sad because we grew up with his films.
That's the thing.
Fire Hook and all them sort of films. And
but for me, I was reading sort of various articles and stuff, and you hear people on YouTube do like your eulogies and whatnot, and you read stuff, and people going through his movies and that. And I think for me, his more serious roles were the ones that I enjoyed the most. Like Good Will Hunting and 1 Hour Photo and stuff like that. I really enjoyed those movies.
1 Hour Photo, I didn't think it was really creepy enough for me.
Oh, I really enjoyed it.
I thought you nailed it.
There was a thing on the other day, apparently the Disney Channel showed Aladdin, and at the end of it they put a little message. They done it, I think so it was made out of stars, and they done like the genie's face out of stars.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I thought that was a really good tribute, actually.
Did you hear also, which the weird thing what happened is that when they knew about the news of him dying, obviously it's America, and in England, Family Guy was showing, and it was a Robin Williams episode, and it was that was the weird sort of thing that happened.
It shows how well liked he must have been because I haven't heard any Robin Williams jokes. Whereas like Michael Jackson died, everyone's thinking, I've got to think of a joke, think of a joke, and I was like 5 minutes past hearing the news, I'm like, fuck, I've got one, text it to someone. But nothing for this, which I guess shows how much people have liked
and it's one of those things like probably like a month ago we talked about the death of Rick Mail, and I think that really hit home to a lot of British people. But I think Robin Williams was more of a worldwide thing. He's been going for quite a long while. All his movies hit different.
Rick Mail hit home more for me than Robin Williams did, so I didn't really watch that much of his. I never used to watch like Mork and Mindy, that kind of thing. But Rick Mail has always been a part of my life growing up, so that hit me more than Robin Williams did.
But I think like when it's something so tragic like Rick Mail, it can be helped. He died as sort of unforeseen health circumstances, whereas Robin Williams, such a you just imagine his face and his big warm smile, and he's so funny and charismatic, and the fact that he took his own life is just so disappointing. Really, it's a bit like everybody in the world probably thinks you had so much more to offer the world, but is that too selfish? Is it us expecting so much from him, whereas him inside is just, he feels so alone and so desperate and so depressed that he just wants to end it all. It almost seems kind of
I see a great thing from Ben Affleck and Matt Damon just saying that they owe the career to him for helping them in Good Will Hunting.
He helped them so much. About after his accident, that and I'll start again.
Oh, he had time for everybody.
They helped him out and kind of like cheered him up.
They said he had time for anyone. Anyone he would help.
But it's odd that he
had time for him.
Presumably didn't think he had anyone to turn to.
Well, what I've read, I don't know. You're getting this from papers, you don't know, do you? They said he had money trouble. They said he had Parkinson's disease or something like that. They said it was something, and it was ruining his cycling, and he was getting really upset that he couldn't do his cycling because the cycling was keeping him clean from his drugs and that, and his alcohol.
I think what's the last film I've seen him in, to be honest.
No, I can't.
It's been a while since he's been in it.
I think he was actually shooting a movie, and I think it might. Don't quote me on this one. I think it was with Simon Pegg. I don't know if I read today that they might be actually taking Robin Williams' performance out. I don't know whether he didn't finish it or whether it just wasn't working.
He was working on that Night at the Museum too, isn't he? So, Ben Affleck and
number 3, isn't it?
Is it number 2? No,
it must be 3. Yeah, because 2.
Sorry, it's 3.
He plays Roosevelt, doesn't he?
Yeah, I see a really good thing though online where the Ben Affleck's son in the film, he wants to ask a girl out to prom, and he's saying hi, and he's on the set and he's got the monkey sat on his shoulder and he's on the set with Ben, and then Ben Affleck walks in and you got Robin Williams coming in yo, go out with him, and just acting all stupid and keep walking by the camera, and it was just really nice to see, and it's just like, what a cool guy, and he's like, yeah, go out on a date with him and all this, and he's cool and stuff. It's just nice to see. But yeah, no, I've heard he's supposed to just be he was supposed to have been a really nice guy to anybody, really.
Yeah, no one's said a bad word about him, as far as I know.
No.
It's just the same shame somebody like that just feels so alone, and apparently him and his wife used to sleep in separate beds, so the evening that he hung himself, she got up, went to work, or went out, didn't even realise until I think the housemaid or the cleaner came in and found him, which is so distressing, it must be.
Again, I did see a thing about his daughter. She got death threats and things, and saying it's your fault and all that by people on Twitter. It's disgusting, isn't it? A few people were saying that to her, which I thought was totally wrong.
So, I mean, we don't often get kind of sad and sort of serious here.
Yeah,
exactly. But, it just goes to show that anyone can be suffering with, depression or just needs a friend. If you've got somebody out there that, may seem a bit mopey or a bit sort of, because you get it on Facebook, don't you? People want friends and want interactions. Maybe they are, maybe you could just extend a hand of friendship, meet up and do a podcast.
Don't try and guilt me just because I don't like people.
No, but
No, I know what you mean.
Just us meeting up, one day in the evening, just makes me feel like I've got, friends and company. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination suffering from, any depression or anything, but it's nice to just know I got you bros here to just shoot the shit, and shoot the breeze with you guys, and if more people can do that, even if people don't listen or watch the podcast, which they probably don't.
I mean, we've got episodes where only 8 views, and then 3 or 4 of them will be us.
Yeah, so. Exactly.
It's just
and but we just enjoy.
And if one day this all stops, in 10 years' time or whatever, and I just want to feel like you guys are in the room, we're chatting together, I'll just sling it on YouTube and we can just sit here and listen to us talk about various different things and other such nonsense.
I think we need to get together and make a feature film when we can.
We didn't even have time to do reviews. I've got 3 reviews written up that I haven't got time to film. Mainly, a lot of it is the summer holidays here.
Of course, yeah.
The
probably
kids
in the winter when it's a bit more, but then
in a couple of weeks when my daughter's back at school, I might be able to get
Sean
time
though,
to
isn't it, again?
Yeah, well, even my solo ones, I just don't have time to do anything like that. With my daughter at home, I want to spend time with her now she's off school.
Of course.
Maybe in a couple of weeks when she's back at school, I'll have a time to just sit and...
It would be nice. It would be nice.
Yeah, well, that's the reason we did the podcast, just so we can do something sort of fairly quick, meet up for an hour and a half, shoot the breeze, talk about movies in a more relaxed fashion, and kind of get it up online as quick as we can.
I did have ChapterSkip nostalgia when it's like, Expendables 3, Expendables 2, our first movie review. And
I'll look at them sometimes.
So we should do number 3 as a kind of Expendables was our thing.
Yeah.
But.
So let's not get too nostalgic about old times, and let's focus on the here and now. And I've got 3 kind of funny, kind of wacky, mainly centred around genitals.
That's why you said leave the balls till later.
Exactly. There's 3 stories, and if you guys want to choose one, we can talk about that and hopefully end this podcast on a high note.
A low note is genitals, I guess.
All right, high, low, whatever. So, do you guys want to talk about the small penis contest? Would you like to talk about a Japanese invention which is making kids smile? Or would you like to?
Wrong.
It does, doesn't it?
About genitals.
Or would you like to talk about a man? Now, this is sort of fairly relevant to you, Mark. He live tweeted his vasectomy.
All right, okay.
So, what do you guys fancy talking about? They're all fairly bizarre. They're all fairly kind of crazy.
I'm almost thinking the kids thing because vasectomy, I've done.
I was going to say that. Would it be interesting to hear about the?
Maybe you can share your thoughts.
Yeah, and you can share your thoughts.
I mean, Go on then.
All right then. Well, the other two stories, the Japanese kid smiling isn't as sinister as it may sound, but apparently
the thing you put in your mouth and make them smile. I don't know.
Basically, yeah, Japanese have invented this kind of thing. You put it around your ears like glasses, and it comes down and around your jaw, and it basically electrocutes you into smiling.
That's amazing.
The Japanese want all their children to be like the fucking Joker.
Yeah, they basically just want them to smile, and apparently, the more they wear it, the more it'll make their faces stick like that. So it's almost kind of like a weird torture. Botox thing. Yeah, kind of torturous.
That's really bizarre.
And the first story was basically there's a country bar in Brooklyn in America where they've held the. There's a quote here. "We're here to worship the altar of small dicks," and the MC was called Chicken Bitch.
Is it a gay club?
I'm not quite sure, but apparently 5 people all took part in the
only 5
Brooklyn's smallest.
Yeah, 5 people.
5 people. Brooklyn's smallest penis pageant, where they could win a whopping $200.
Was that it? Ah, that's not even enough for extension surgery, is it?
5 people. How many people are in the audience?
Yeah, a lot of people looking at small
Would you get a
dicks.
trophy that's got like a massive cock on it? So you'd hope you put it on your mantelpiece, and go like, "Oh yeah, I won that at a penis contest," and hope that no one looks at the small print.
Yeah, small print.
Really, really small. Yeah.
So what we are going to talk about is a gentleman called Matt Soper, who's a radio announcer in Australia, I believe, because it says Victoria's Jack FM, and Victoria's place in Australia.
Yeah.
Basically, some people like to share every little thing on social media. I'm just sitting here, #bored, or just going for a walk, #walking, #YOLO.
Dog shit.
Yeah. Well, this radio DJ thought he would take it to the next level, and he starts off. He puts on Twitter, "I'm getting a vasectomy today. Since it's 2014, I'm supposed to live tweet it, right? #Soper sniped." I think it was meant to put snipped, but snip's got 2 P's, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he's put sniped.
They're getting shot off.
Yeah.
Come on, he was having an operation.
There's a bloke in a book depository. I know he said suppository. That was weird.
Book suppository.
And he's going to shoot off my pipes. I'm just going to pop my balls out, and he's going to shoot off the relevant.
So I'll just run through a couple of tweets that he's posted. So he's waiting in the waiting room. You can relate to this, Mark. He put, "In the waiting room, waiting for my vasectomy in Bryan Adams' Cut Like a Knife is playing. Is this real life?" #well played. And he says, "Should I tell the doctor I used a fresh bar of Irish Spring down there just for him this morning, or is that weird?" Apparently he did tell the doctor, and his response was, "That's kind of you." So Mark, did you grab a fresh bar of soap and make sure you're...
I just showered as normal.
What did you use down there though? What shower gel or soap?
Oh, okay. Just some Lynx crap or whatever. I can't remember what I used.
Lynx crap?
Lynx
That must be a new one, is it?
New from Lynx.
The shit of a puma.
De poo.
I don't know, I just whatever shower gel I don't look at stuff like that. I'm just like, that's mine, this man shower gel.
It's got man on it.
It doesn't have like a flowery
Soap on a
scent.
rope.
It's got a mysterious scent.
Soap on
Smells
a
like musk.
Yeah.
Well, I've said that to my daughter.
Sweat.
She'll be like hers and like, "Oh, mine smells like strawberries." Like, what does mine smell like? She goes, "Smells like daddy." Not yet. Okay. Just like man scent.
That's amazing.
I made sure everything was clean, but I didn't go out of my way to.
Yeah, well, you alluded to this a couple of podcasts ago, saying that you had to, let's say, trim the bush yourself.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's his next tweet says, "He has to shave me first. This will be the first time anybody else has shaved any part of me. Wish it wasn't my balls first."
I was lazy. I just shaved my own balls.
When you had to do yours?
Yeah, I've done my own one. I'd rather do my own than anyone else doing it for me, I think.
Yeah.
See, for me, the whole bit that only felt, you'd think someone like slicing open my testicles would make me nervous. It weren't that. It's when I'm laying down, and they put the sheet over
Oh,
my
you was
crotch.
awake and like
Yeah,
you
just have a local anaesthetic. I was gutted because I like to see this shit. I'd been quite happy for them to put mirrors up, and I'd been happy for Sean to film it, for fuck's sake.
That'd have been mental, wouldn't it?
The only bit I was a bit like, hang on, was when they put, you're laying down, you got all your bits hanging out, and then they put a sheet over it, and then it hasn't got a slice on the sheet already, so we got some little surgical scissors, and then started cutting the sheet, and then I was like, hang on, mind where you put your scissors? Which is weird that I thought that, considering he was then going to be slicing my scrotum open. But that was the bit that made me think.
Did they have any nice?
That's a bit nervous.
Any nice music playing?
They did actually. It was a bit like when you go for a massage, and no, it was just like classical music.
Yeah, like Jerry Lee Lewis, Great Balls of Fire, or something.
There was classical music, although one of them there was I was like, this is normally played in the horror kind of setting.
Yeah.
So I was a bit distracted by that.
Someone's going to jump out your balls.
What a bull!
And they just run across the floor. Across the floor after it's killed everybody.
A doctor with a sense of humour has got one of those really bouncy balls and just goes, oh, there you go, and throws it out. A tomato or something. But
one more tweet. He's put quite a few tweets, but he says, "Doc, here's a tiny band-aid for the area. Me, you mean big band-aid for the area?" Doc rolls his eyes.
You got band-aids?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is this wimp?
I don't know.
I didn't have plasters on mine.
Did you have did they just burn it like Rambo style and you stitched it up yourself?
Set
fire to me!
The incision the guy made, I don't know how he operated for it. It was so small. Not saying anything about the manhood, but the incision was so small. I've had bigger paper cuts.
Was it keyhole surgery then?
He said it's technically called no scalpel surgery. He said they do make an incision with a scalpel, obviously, but it's such a tiny incision. Because I'm like, on one side, I'm like, yeah, I can see a cut, and on the other side, I was like, I can't even fucking see where he did it. It was amazing.
Apparently, the doc says, "Come back to me in 2 months, and we'll see your sperm count.
2 months.
The more you use it, the better." And he says, "Me? Can you call my wife that?" Sperm count.
And you?
2 months? No, I've got to wait longer than that to do it. They've said they've extended it now, because I had mine. Was it this month or end of last month? I've got to wait till November. And then December. Although I have been given the pots already, and they're in like these, like the yellow surgical bags that you always have in hospitals. And I never noticed until the other day, because I just like stuck them on my chair, just left them there, that kind of thing. And I never noticed. I was like, oh, they'll be fine now. I know what they're for. The bright yellow, they'll remember. And then I turned around and noticed it's got on it seminal sample only. Or whatever. I'm like, probably should put them away.
Yeah.
But
apparently, after the procedure, his wife gave him a present, and you can probably relate to this. It was a big bag of frozen peas. Did you go down the frozen peas route?
I was fine. I didn't need anything. This bloke's a wimp. I didn't have a...
Listen to him, hard man.
I had
done my bollocks calf, I don't give a fuck.
You're like Rambo,
You basically get 2 injections in your pubic area, and that'll numb everything, and then you'll get... I had an injection in either side of your sack, depending which side he's operating on. He done lefty first. That was fine. Didn't have a problem with there. When he done righty and he done the injection in that one, I think I did say, ow, I can fucking feel that one. Oh no, I didn't swear, she was like, ow, yeah, that did actually sting a little bit.
Oh, you fucking twat.
Yeah, fuck it, oh doc.
You twat.
I didn't have plasters.
Don't handle me balls like that.
He even said, like, oh, if it does start to bleed, just pinch the skin together and it'll be, that was all it was. There was nothing, no plasters, no fucking anything. It was just like, it was a tiny little scratch.
There you go.
And all I had, not really any pain, slight discomfort, as if, say, 4 or 5 hours ago I'd been hitting the bollocks, and you get that sort of dull ache. It was that occasionally, just came and went. But I mean, I had it on the Thursday, a week Friday. I cycled to work. I kept my knees a bit more apart than usually. But it's weird. There's that hint of a faint ache. So I was very conscious of my testicles for a week.
But now aware of them.
Yeah, now that it's all over and done with.
Just let them jingle.
And everything's all right.
Everything's
working, all the tubes.
Yeah.
Well,
plumbing.
You'd hope they wouldn't work.
All the plumbing.
As far as I know, I'm not going to know till November until I go to a hospital with a tub full of wank.
Yeah. Here you go, Doc. There's my tub full of wank.
Slap on the corner.
Just walk in and drop a Kleenex on the counter. There you go.
I forgot the bottles. Here's some Kleenex. Yeah. Jesus. And here's some more.
Oh.
Have you got a teacup?
I don't know if I mentioned this story before, because I've mentioned like DNA stuff before with bone marrow and all that thing. I think I mentioned that before with blood transfusion that we were talking about once. There was, I'll have to look up the details of it. There was a woman who, something to do with custody of her children, and I think she had 3 or 4 kids, and then they said the children weren't hers. They had completely different DNA to what she did, and it transpired when she was in the womb, she had a twin that she'd absorbed, and her reproductive organ, her womb and so on, actually has the DNA of her twin, and not her own. So her children have actually got this separate DNA.
That's weird.
Which is really fucking weird.
So what, you give birth to a kid and it's your niece or something?
So yeah, never thought of it like that. That's really bizarre.
It's weird.
Yeah, that was like, wow, that's fucking strange.
That's like being in the Fens.
That's normal, really.
Niece is your sister, who's your mother, who's your gran, you know.
That's strange if it
wasn't from around here, yeah.
So we talked about balls. We've talked about movies. We've talked about North Korea.
Oh, North Korea. Yeah.
What do we want to talk about next week? Any kind of suggestions for movies that we can watch?
That's homework. What are we talking about?
You sounded intrigued by Dororo.
Yeah. Is that a movie or a series?
It's a movie. Yeah.
Movie.
I've got it on DVD if you can't find it anywhere, because I don't know if it's on Netflix or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Yeah.
I've not seen 22 Jump Street.
Okay, I think it's still playing in a few. That or the Purge, I guess, whichever's.
I think 22 Jump Street's long out in the cinemas.
Oh, it might just some of them are still probably showing.
Probably better.
But the Purge is still doing it
That
around.
makes sense. That's at the cinema still.
Yeah.
One of those two. And Mark, what do you fancy checking out?
I'm almost considering Expendables 3. I know it'll be shit, but just for that ChapterSkip nostalgia.
Yeah, I've heard a few reviews about it, and it sounds very similar to like 1 and 2.
Do we know who's in it? Because obviously the big surprise in number 2 was
Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Well, I think in this one we've got Harrison Ford, Wesley Snipes, who I'm quite looking forward to seeing, Mel Gibson, Antonio Banderas, and the biggest action movie star of late, Kelsey Grammer.
That's amazing.
We've got those two, and then obviously the usuals like Randy Couture, Terry Crews, Dolph Lundgren,
But that's when they take all the in-jokes too far and they're going, oh, this is Gunner, he's got a thingy at MIT. I'm like, yeah, we know Dolph Lundgren's got that. Stop fucking referencing him.
Have you seen the Monos trailers for Expendables 1?
Yeah. No. I watched that today actually, and they're going, starring black guy. That's fucking hilarious.
So Jason Statham, no, it says all that they take on all cool guys. Jason Statham takes on a pickup full of basketball players.
It's like starring Cranky.
It's so good.
Yeah, I did watch that today actually. I'm like, that's really fucking funny.
Bruce Willis stars in it for not very long. What the fuck? Like 4 minutes or so.
Well, apparently they completely replaced Bruce Willis in this one and made Harrison Ford his character because Bruce Willis wanted like $1 million per day or something stupid like that. They were like, bugger off, mate. We'll just get Harrison Ford. Same kind of thing, isn't it?
It's like he didn't do much anything really in the other films.
You thought he was just doing it as a favour for his friends anyway. He's friends with them.
And they've got enough fucking money anyhow. So there was a stunt guy that was actually killed in Expendables 2. I think it was on the boat. Bridge scene, I thought.
In one of the Asian countries, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought it was I heard he fell off the boat. And
it was in that same sequence anyway. Yeah. So hopefully they've not killed someone for the sake of their shit film this time.
If you want to check out Expendables 3 and give us an in-depth spoiler casting.
I don't really have to go and spend money on it, but I'll go a Wednesday cheap for you, $5, you know. And
See Potato Head, Jason Statham.
You know what? I found my test footage of that when I done the whole Jason Statham. Oh, I even found. You remember when we done Spring Breakers?
Right.
And we did originally have an idea was on about being in the paddling pool to represent.
Yeah.
And I found my daughter. I've actually recorded her doing like a screen test and going, "Get out my paddling pool, y'all." I was like, I've still got that. That's fucking amazing.
Crazy. Right, so homework is set, and if Chud can join us next week, he will give a more in-depth review on the Raid 2 rather than just it was awesome / better than the first one. So he'll tell us all about that, although we have talked about it in quite a few podcasts before. So if that doesn't tickle your fancy, maybe skip forward a little bit.
Still my favourite film of the year. I don't know if anything's going to knock it off my number one spot, but...
Anyway, we'll find out what Chud has to say about that next week. We'll find out if Mark manages to, glum up the courage to watch Expendables 3 and watch those aging action stars, say one-liners and save the world again. Joe, you're going to check out potentially 22 Jump Street or maybe The Purge as well, and you can let us know next week. And I will check out Dororo. So, that's next week. If, in the meantime, you guys want to get in contact with us, via Facebook. It's facebook.com/ChapterSkip. You can tweet us. I did just send out a tweet, which Mark doesn't know. I took a picture of him making us some tea. So if you want to go follow us on Twitter @ChapterSkip, and we're on there. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We do have a main channel and we have a podcast channel. You can also send us an email to chapterskip@gmail.com. Is there anything else?
If you've got any recommendations for us that you think we should watch, go ahead. I think Andy listens to our podcast. The guy got me the Fist of Jesus t-shirt.
Yeah,
cheers,
awesome.
mate. He's just had a birthday as well just the other day, so happy birthday to you, Andy.
Happy birthday.
An official ChapterSkip happy birthday. You don't get a present, but never mind. But
This is his present, the podcast.
This is your present.
You get a tub of Mag's jizz.
Yeah, you can test it, see if you think it's alright, if it's...
Give a quick sample.
But yeah, you're jaffified. But
Vintage
he's mentioned a film to me before now called Sewage Baby, which I've never seen. If he wants to recommend that, or
What's
anyone
that
else
about?
got
I wonder what
something,
that's about.
who knows? But anyone's got anything weird and wonderful to recommend?
Yeah,
basically, I'm up for that. So.
Yeah. Leave that in a comment down below.
Yeah, please
Tweet
do.
it to us. Facebook it to us. Email it to us. Any of that good stuff. It's all in the description
Carrier
down
pigeon.
below. Carrier pigeon.
Carrier
Smoke
pigeon.
signals.
Yeah.
Carry a bat.
Carry a bat. Carry a leech.
War drum, I don't know, drum where they drum it to each other, don't they?
You're the drummer, Joe. You should know these phrases.
I don't know, but they used to do that. In
Paradiddle.
Oh god.
Morse code.
Yeah, Morse code it.
Yeah. Or just like bring us the DVD or something. We'll say thanks and give you a cup of tea or something. Anyway, I digress. So on behalf of ChapterSkip, I'm Sean.
I'm Joe.
And I'm still Mark.
And we'll catch you guys again next time.
There's a moth in here. What the fucking size of it?
More.
Mothra!
Someone sent us a carrier moth.
What's it say on it? Oh, he's killed it.